ASEAN Dailies. First and the foremost news from Southeast Asia.
Good morning, this is Arlene and you're with me on our ASEAN Daily where we bring you all the latest updates from Southeast Asia. We want to focus first on Laos, where Vice President Bounnhang was named the new Laos Communist Party leader. Congratulations to him. Laos Communist Party leader on Friday chose Bounnhang Vorachit to be its new leader after a vote by a newly formed central committee that did not include the Prime Minister and former party chief, signaling their political exit. Seems like business as usual, although a couple of people have been booted out, probably because they might not have the same sort of political alliances. Anyway, looking forward to the new Communist Party leader from Laos. The country official KPL news agency said that Mr. Bounnhang, the 78-year-old current vice president who won the leadership vote on Friday at the 5-yearly Congress on the Secretive Party. Yeah, we do not know much about the party, unfortunately. It did not announce the names of the new elite Politburo. The selection was anticipated by experts who see a continuation of a status quo in which power is tightly controlled by the party while pursuing strong economic expansion with an average of 7.8% since 2011. Laos is definitely skyrocketing ahead in Southeast Asia despite being one of the poorest countries in Southeast Asia. And looking forward that he would definitely continue the policies and the focus, especially on the ASEAN Economic Community, by the previous party chief and president, Chomali Sayasont, who is 79, which held both posts since 2006. The Prime Minister Thongsin Thamawong, 71, were among 4 serving Politburo members who did not apply to join the top committee. While on the other hand, Mr. Bounnhang was top of the list of the new 77-member Central Committee announced a couple of days ago, which saw all 39 members who applied for re-election were chosen. And second on the list was National Assembly Chairwoman and former Central Bank Governor Penny Yatotu, a development that suggests a move up in the party hierarchy to be a possible Prime Minister. This is according to Martin Stewart Fox, a Laos expert and retired professor at the University of Queensland. The Prime Minister and Cabinet posts were not scheduled to be announced at the Congress. Nevertheless, according to some of the views by the expert, that the most significant promotion have been Madame Penny, adding that she's now a very powerful figure. According to analysts, which anticipated a continuation of status quo that has seen power tightly controlled by the party while pursuing strong economic expansion. And for foreign media, it has not been permitted to cover the Congress. A senior foreign ministry press officer said this was insufficient time to invite international media, but we all know that the affairs within the Laos political structure is very much tightly controlled and very secretive. Nevertheless, state media did not state why Mr. Thongsin and Mr. Chomali, who have been Politburo members since 1991, did not contest re-election to the Central Committee. On the other hand, Laos has chosen political ties. He has closened his political ties to Communist Vietnam and mirrors its political system. Both countries are holding their 5-yearly congresses this week. The communist neighbor China has been vying aggressively for influence on Laos, however, providing scholarships and loans and infrastructure investment into the fledgling US $21 billion economy, 862 times smaller than its own. Growth in Laos have been driven by investment, mining, and sales abroad of most of its growth in the hydropower industry, largely to Thailand, which has been boosted outcomes and access to electricity, telecommunication, healthcare of its 6.8 million mostly rural population. On another news, we focus on the release of political prisoners in Myanmar, and interestingly, the New Zealander, which did something that did not really gel well with the Buddhist majority nation in Myanmar. He was among the 34 political prisoners that were pardoned. Myanmar pardoned more than 100 prisoners on Friday, including New Zealander and 34 others jailed on political charges. This is said days before a historic political transition that will see Aung San Suu Kyi's pro-democracy party take over. The move comes after a U.S. envoy urged the quasi-civilian government last week to free all remaining political prisoners before the new parliament convenes next month. Altogether, 102 prisoners, including foreign prisoner New Zealander national who was serving his sentence, was released. This was confirmed by the presidential spokesperson Zo Tae, which he wrote in his official Facebook account. Outgoing President Thein Sein, a former general, has overseen Myanmar transition for nearly 5 decades, which ended in 2011, releasing political prisoners at key moments in the reform process. Friday's pardon included the 34 prisoners of conscience, according to Yi Ong, a representative of the former political prisoners support group. Among them is Philip Blackwood, 32-year-old, which was sentenced to 2 years in prison last March for insulting religion by using an image of a Buddha wearing headphones to promote a cheap drink night at the Yangon bar where he worked. His jailing was condemned by rights groups and read as a worrying sign of surging Buddhist nationalism in Myanmar, which has seen anti-Muslim riots and persecution of the country's troubled Rohingya population. On the other hand, with the release of political prisoner, it aims to mark the World Buddhist Peace Conference, where the president is currently attending. It is also a sign that the junta is definitely moving forward towards a more democratic Myanmar, although a lot of the rights groups are still skeptical if the government is wholeheartedly into making human rights as the central of its country's aim. And with that, we go to another news, which we saw that Hong Kong has reached free trade agreement with ASEAN. This is confirmed by the city's finance chief. Hong Kong is likely to reach it by this year with ASEAN on a free trade agreement. The 10 nations covered by a free trade pact represents a population of some 600 million of rising middle class status. They view the pact with strategic importance. We started the negotiation last year. We believe with 2 or 3 more meetings, we should be able to resolve most outstanding issues. This is being confirmed by the Financial Secretary Jong Sang. Sang also said that Hong Kong has discussed its plans to become a member of the ASEAN Infrastructure Investment Bank, or short for AIIB. The response from the central government in Beijing has been positive about the inclusion of Hong Kong into the China-backed AIIB. Allaying fears of capital outflow has hammered the local currency in recent days. As the US rate policy normalizes, the Hong Kong US interest rate differential will see further widening. They have previously seen US dollar 13 billion of inflows. As rates normalize, it will result in outflows. This is normal and should not be cause of concern. He commented came after an economic forum held by the Chinese General Chamber of Commerce. At the time, Yu Yan, Vice Chair and Chief Executive of the Bank of China, said banks' businesses were constrained by high financing costs, where the yuan appreciated for years in a one-way currency movement. The new two-way volatility, according to him, is helping Hong Kong banks to break quote-unquote past limitations for the lending business. He noted also that Hong Kong economy will be challenged by sluggish global demands and lower tourist numbers in 2016, the same sort of challenges that ASEAN will be facing this year. But Hong Kong will see huge opportunities under China's gradual opening of its capital account and see support from the city's infrastructure investment, which is happening at full speed. We will take a short break. When we come back, we will discuss on the economic side of